Hi, I was saying in my last video, in fact, the first one I did on 2026 being the year of the female, that we're going to see many stories coming out about females, some really very good or extremely bad. And 7 days into the new year, on the 7th of January 2026, this year, we had the death of Renee Good, age 37. And just 17 days later, on the 24th of this month of January 2026, we had the death of Alex Pretti. I had mentioned in that first video I did, because I also followed that up with a second one about Renee Good herself. But in the first one, I mentioned that because the energies of this year, 2006, are all female energies, also um, these numbers being relating to like the caring profession and nursing and so on. And then we had the deaths of the other death of Alex Pretti. And I had done that video, the first one, on the 28th of December 2025. And lo and behold, Alex Pretti is a man, but he is in the nursing and caring profession. And he also was 37 years of age. Now, when you get something like this, it's always like a red flag. The actual, when the numbers or similar names are involved with these events. So that's a really, really powerful red flag, because the whole system is run on numbers, letters, symbolism, words, because we live in a matrix. So everything is created and played out through these aspects: symbolism, numbers, and so on. And the thing with the whole system is that we have to realize, because we live in a matrix, we have to, and things that are created and spoken and understood, events through these systems of symbolism and so on. We have to understand the symbolism, what it means, because life is not just the ordinary physical everyday events. Most of these events are planned to occur to affect a certain outcome. And the matrix, as I said, it deals with numbers, letters, symbolism, your birthday. And so every person on this planet that was born and has a name carries specific codes. And the codes are your name, what your name means, the message of your name, and also the day, month, and year that you were born. This is how the universe speaks. Almost like if you imagine you're living in some computer, right? And we are. What I was gonna say. We're actually living by. That's not quite what I want to say, but there is some. Hang on, just let me rewind. I've lost my train of thought. Okay, I'm just doing a little rewind. We have to look at the numbers. I'm going to make this short, so if you're really interested, let me know and I will expand on it. Okay, so the number 37 shouts out at us. It has many meanings. First of all, it's a prime number. Okay, and so when you have prime numbers, prime means, for example, like a prime minister, for example. So something in the first position, something of extreme and enormous power at the root of a thing. And so 37 actually means like creation of the divine. That's what one of its meanings are. Okay, so if you have something, uh, creation of the divine, the number that the person passed on, and then 17 days later, on the 24th of January 2026, you have another death, and the age of that person is also 37. Now, even without knowing much, as I said, there's more meaning to these numbers, but this is like a primary one, okay? And if you were to read the message as just numbers, then this person's life, or these two people's lives, were cut short when they were 37 years of age. What would that say to someone who reads symbolism? Say, for example, a mainframe of a computer or something like that. Creation of the divine has been cut short, has been murdered, shot dead. So just let that sink in for a minute, because I'm not saying that these people were great divine beings or whatever. Sure, they were good, caring, kind people, but it's a symbolism that is carried not only through their name, but through the time that they were terminated. So really, the thing you have to read here is that someone or some beings trying to terminate the creation of the divine. And if you have the creation of the divine terminated, right, it's, of course, it leaves us open to the dark forces, because you may or may not know that there is a spiritual war going on this planet. We see the physical wars, but behind that is a spiritual war. It's just, for example, like we all have a shadow, right? We can't get away from that shadow. It's part of us. And I won't go there. That would just take too long. But be aware that everything that happens here in the physical world is created outside of this existence to cause the effect in the physical world. So what I'm trying to say is that the war being fought here on this earth is actually being manipulated through what I mentioned about symbolism and numbers and so on and so on. I think that what I'll do is I'll leave it here. Let me know if you're interested in more, because I just really wanted to pique your interest to let you know that these events are happening. They're actually created on purpose. They might seem like random, but they've been created to cause a specific outcome, because the whole world is degenerating now into chaos. And when you have the termination of not one but two people to complete that kind of circle or circuit, right? It leaves us open to, as I said, the dark forces. And it could almost, you can almost look at it like, when this happened, right? We're like the people who are left behind. We're not, but that's the scenario that the negative forces are trying to bring in. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for now. So thanks for listening. As I said, this is just a really tiny little tidbit, okay, to pique your interest. All right, thank you, Diana.